Hey, what's up YouTube? This your boy PJ2 Hot here and back from another video, and today I'm doing my review of Spider-Man PS4. So yes, I know it's been a while since I did a video. Well, it's been about 2 weeks, or it's 2 weeks going on 3 weeks. I'm sorry, but I didn't have time to get this review out as quickly as I wanted to, but I have 100%ed the game, so hey, I can give the best reviews I can possible because I've done everything. I will not try to spoil anything in this game because I understand that people haven't got to it yet. But if I do spoil something, it's going to be a minor spoiler, so don't worry too much about it. So first, let's start with what everybody wants to know about the most. How is the web swinging? Well, first off, the web swinging is absolutely perfect. I think Insomniac nailed the web swinging in this game. Past games have tried but always failed because the web swinging felt a little bit too stiff. A good example would be The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and The Amazing Spider-Man 2. The first game, the webs went straight up in the air, and the second games, the webs technically went to the buildings, but you know how B-Knocks lied technically, especially when you go swing through Central Park. The webs go nowhere. But the animations were literally always stiff and just didn't feel like Spider-Man to me. But in Spider-Man PS4, the swinging feels exactly like Spider-Man. I mean, if I was Spider-Man, I would be doing the most crazy tricks in the air when I'm swinging through New York City. The web's definitely attached to the buildings and the trees if you're in Central Park, so it definitely feels like you are actually swinging from building to building, and it doesn't just feel like you're swinging, but you're slanted to like the left or right to make it look like you're swinging from the buildings like The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I have spent countless hours just swinging through the city, going from one end to the other. It is extremely fun and addictive, and definitely with all the collectibles around the city, it's definitely a lot more fun to collect stuff because the traversal system in this game is just so well done. I can tell they put a lot of focus into that. I could tell that they took like inspiration from past Spider-Man games and definitely improved upon them a lot. So yes, definitely the web swinging is perfect. If that's what you're looking forward to the most, you will not be disappointed. Next would be the open world. Now this is the best version of New York that we have seen in a Spider-Man game. Past versions of New York felt kind of dead. The city didn't really feel alive. And I'll go back once again to the Amazing Spider-Man games, how the city literally felt dead. Like there were some parts where you would see no one walking down the street, you would see no cars. It just didn't feel alive. It felt like Spider-Man was the only one that was living in the city. And to me, Insomniac truly nailed it. Yes, the city feels alive. It feels alive. You go to the basketball courts, you see people playing basketball. You look towards the sea and you see boats riding on the sea, with the exception of the low quality, polygon looking civilians on the boats, which Insomniac, to me, in my opinion, tried to damage control, saying it was an Easter egg when they pretty much didn't expect people to go swinging towards them boats. Come on, let's keep it real. But the city looks absolutely amazing. The detail, and especially gotta give Insomniac more props. The detail on the city is amazing. Like especially on the ground, on the ground. I did not expect that they would put that much detail, but it's like, wow, because a game like Spider-Man, man, you gonna spend most of your time on top of buildings and swinging across the city, not really focusing too much on what's going down on the ground. But the fact that there's so much detail there, and the fact that you can go by some stores and see people in them, or you can see the inside of the stores, to me, it's that type of detail that makes me truly appreciate the game even more. Plus, the city is filled with loads of activities to do, including collecting backpacks, lots of side missions. Some are good, some are bad and very tedious. I'll get to those later. And expect a lot of random crimes to happen around this city. And that's the thing that I hated about The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I know I keep going back to this game, but I have to because this game was trash. Random crimes in that game were poorly executed, and it just didn't feel like random crimes at all. It just felt like he was just doing the same mission over and over and over again. And to an extent, all random crimes would technically feel like that, but The Amazing Spider-Man 2, it really just felt like he was just playing the same mission because all the crimes literally happened in the same locations on repeat. It would just happen in a different pattern. In Spider-Man PS4, the crimes feel like they can happen legit anywhere and not literally in the same locations but in a different pattern. They feel like they're actually random crimes that can happen at any place in the city, and that is exactly why I love it so much. I think they nailed the open world aspect. Yes, there are a few problems there with the open world, and I will get to those, but for the most part, the good outweighs the bad. Next thing would be the story. Now, Insomniac did a fantastic job with this story. I love it. To me, this is one of my favorite Spider-Man stories ever. I love the way they handled Peter Parker and some other characters in the game. I'm not going to spoil a certain character that appears in this game, and some of the villains, like Peter Parker and his relationship with some of the villains in this game, to me are done so well. And I like how they really established this Spider-Man universe as its own universe. It doesn't feel like it's trying to connect with any movie. It doesn't feel like it's trying to adapt a comic book storyline. No, it has its own original story. It stands out on its own. This version of Spider-Man is Sony and Insomniac's version of Spider-Man, and it's really well, and I love it. I loved it. I love the way Insomniac told this story to me. And I think while Insomniac is a very known developer, I think this game will really be their breakthrough title that can really truly send them up to the heights of other big studios out here, because this game really stands out to me a lot more than their other games. Now, obviously, because it's Spider-Man, and Spider-Man is one of the most popular characters in the world, so yes, I understand that's why it would stand out more. But the fact is, when it comes to the storytelling and the way that, like Insomniac is mostly associated with like Ratchet and Clank and more of the goofy platformers and stuff, which were great and fine, but this to me is their first time truly taking on something really serious, with the exception of the Resistance franchise. But yes, the story is absolutely amazing. It's a great Spider-Man tale, great character development. I really love their take on Spider-Man and this whole universe that Insomniac has set up. And I also love that they included a lot of different suits to wear into the game. And the best part, the suits are actually in the cutscenes. You know, I actually hate games that like allow you to change your costume, but then when the cutscene comes, you go back to the default costume that you had in the beginning. To me, that breaks the immersion. I want to feel like, okay, if I'm wearing a different suit, I want my character to be wearing that suit in the cutscenes. And a lot of games be missing out on that. But I'm super glad that Insomniac knew and said, yo, if we're gonna allow them to wear different suits, the suits got to be in the cutscenes, and I'm glad Insomniac did that. And it's already been confirmed that in future DLC packs, there will be more costumes added to the game, including the New Game Plus. Now, there's a rant I have about that, and I'm going to get to it a little bit in the negatives, but definitely, yes, expect more suits to be in this game in DLC. Now, with all that out the way, I'm going to get to some of the negatives about this game. Remember, no game is absolutely perfect. Every game has its flaws. So here, I'm going to give you some of the negative and nitpicks that I have about this game. The first thing is the side missions to me were very bland. Like there was a couple of side missions that stood out and a couple of side bosses in the game that I liked. The side missions I liked. Those were great. So those, but some of these I hate. Like, look, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. It's a minor spoiler. It doesn't spoil the plot of the game at all. It's a side mission spoiler, and it's and I'm sorry, but if you don't want to hear it, leave the video. If you don't care, listen. This mission where you have to collect these pigeons, I didn't like that. That to me, I was like, come on, that was the worst side mission in the game. And I also didn't really like the side mission. And once I say again, this is, if you don't want to know all this, leave the video. And I also didn't like the side missions where you had, like, the dude would take a picture of a location and you had to find that location to go search for one of his friends. I didn't like that side mission either. And to me, like they were kind of a drag, you know what I mean? I feel like Insomniac could have did a lot better on the side missions. That was, to me, was a little bit of a disappointment. Like, yes, there are some good side missions in the game. There's like the side bosses. There are some with some villains, with some very unknown villains that you really, that the average person probably wouldn't even know even existed. But those to me were the best ones. There were good side missions, but there was a lot too that I didn't like. So yes. That's one of the complaints I have on that part. Another little rant that I have is the New Game Plus issue. Now, to me, Insomniac should have known this because God of War did the exact same thing. When you have a game like this, you should automatically have a New Game Plus. There should be no excuse why that should have been the first thing on your radar. It's like, okay, if you're going to have a game, we're going to have all this unlockable suits, we're going to have all this leveling up and all this upgrading, buying skills and stuff. You should have a New Game Plus because you should know people are going to want to replay through the game again with all their upgrades and all their suits, you know what I mean? And to me, they're adding it in the update, which is fine. No, it's a free update, that's fine, that's wonderful. But to me, as a nitpick, like it's not ruining the game for me. It's just a little nitpick, you know. It's certain things you just kind of wish like you guys should have known to have done this already from the beginning. And so now we have to wait for the New Game Plus. So I'm waiting for that because I really do want to replay through the game again. But I want to replay it with all my unlocked suits because I kind of want to go through the game fresh with my unlocked suits and just watch all the different suits in the cutscenes. To me, that's cool. I like replaying games just to play through the game again in different suits. just to see the cutscenes with different suits. To me, that just makes it even more funner. So yeah, that's my little nitpick on that. I think New Game Plus should have already been in the game from the get-go. We shouldn't have to wait for an update, but it is what it is. It's coming. It's going to be a free update. Hey, I can't wait for it. When it comes out, I'm replaying through the game again. I love the game that much. I'm probably going to replay it through it a couple of times when New Game Plus comes out. So yes, I'm looking real forward to that. That was another complaint, and I think that's probably my final complaint. Yes, yeah. That is my final complaint. I don't really have a problem with the stealth missions like some people do. Now, yeah, it might be at some points I'm like, I kind of want to play as Spider-Man right now. I don't want to play as Mary Jane, but hey, man, it's all good. It didn't really ruin the game for me. It didn't feel out of place to me. It felt like it belonged in the game. It definitely did further the plot. So to me, it was actually kind of useful. But anyways, though, this is my review for Spider-Man PS4. It is a great game. I definitely recommend that you play this game. If you got a PS4, there is no excuse why you haven't played this game. It's definitely worth the money. Even if you're not a Spider-Man game, I think you would still love the game. It's a great game, and I'm gonna go ahead and keep it real with you. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. I was gonna say 9.5, but I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10 because there are definitely some problems with it. And I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm not gonna gas it up and say it's absolutely perfect, because it's not. But it's definitely the best Spider-Man game that we have ever had. It is also definitely the best superhero game that I have ever played, next to the Batman Arkham series. I can't say it's better than Arkham City. I can't say that, but it's definitely, in my opinion, better than Arkham Asylum. It's also better than Arkham Knight and Arkham Origins. So I can definitely say that I enjoyed it more than them. But Arkham City, I can't put it over that. You know, I can't. It came close, though. It's right there. It came real close, but I can't really say it's better than that game. And yes, I know, like, if you go back to my Amazing Spider-Man 1 review, I gave that game a 9.5 out of 10. I was tripping. I have no idea what was going through my head when I made that dang review, because I was definitely tripping. The game was not a 9.5 out of 10. It definitely was a, I would give it about an 8. I think the Amazing Spider-Man 1 was overall a lot better than the second game. So I'll give Amazing Spider-Man 1 probably an 8. But Spider-Man PS4 is a 9 out of 10. It's absolutely an amazing game. It's one of my favorite games this year. It's God of War and Spider-Man are my favorite games I've played this year. Now that might be taken, and you know, like the crown might be taken by Red Dead Redemption 2, which comes out like later in October. So that might take the crown as my game of the year. But my opinion, just because I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, so I'm kind of biased, I'm probably gonna say Spider-Man is my game of the year. But that's because I'm a Spider-Man fanatic, so I'm kind of biased on that point. But yeah, definitely Spider-Man PS4 is a 9 out of 10. So that was my review for Spider-Man PS4. This your boy PJ Too Hot. Peace.